how to do it. Let me show you how to do it.
Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to be covering how I fix my pool leak using a putty. Before you watch the video, please just give it a thumbs up, and if you don't have to subscribe, you don't have to, but at least give it a thumbs up, write a comment or whatever. It really helps my channel grow, and I appreciate your support. Let's watch the video. Hi guys, so I want to talk to you guys today about the PC pool epoxy. This is an epoxy that you can use to repair your pool for leaks and stuff. And I just wanted to kind of go over and show you guys how I fix my pool leak. So basically I was having issues and the companies were charging me a hell of a lot of money to come in and fix my pool leak, or at least try to find it. So the first thing I did was I let my pool drain as much as it was going down. So before I used to maintain the level up till at least half the skimmer, but every now and then it would drop and keep dropping, and I used to just fill it up and then it would drop again. I tried to find the leak around the parameter. I couldn't really see anything, so I thought about an idea: just let it drain, and just don't fill it up, and that's what I did. And what I ended up noticing was at this level it has stopped, and after that it was not leaking, and the water pretty much stayed steady at this level. So that kind of gave me an indication that the leak got to be somewhere right above this, right? And guess what it was? My niche for the pool light. So that was a good indication. So I pulled out my old pool light. I think it was due for replacement, so I end up pulling a new light in my pool. So I'll leave a link in the description below how I pulled the pool light. That there's going to be a separate video just to help you guys out. There's a really good method of pulling it if you're interested. But anyways, I decided to pull a new cable and everything, and then I had to reseal everything around it, so let me get closer and show you what the niche is like. But before I do that, I just want to show you what I used. I used this PC pool epoxy, and it's a very simple and easy thing to use. All you do is basically just cut it and just roll it with your hands. Just mix it really good, and then you can apply it, and then you have about maybe 10 minutes or so where you can apply it. So let me show you exactly what I did. So I was not sure if the ring was leaking right from here, but since I had the putty, I just end up applying some right on the edges. And the main thing I did was, since I pulled a new cable, I pulled it right from here and I just shoved in a bunch of putty right inside, and it looks pretty good. I did it that last night, so it's been about 10 hours or so, and they recommend about 24 hours for it to cure and stuff. So I'm probably going to give it a little more, but I'm probably going to apply a little bit more putty on places like this, where I may have left, and that might be a place where it leaked from, just to be on the safe side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I think that'll be a good way for me to show you guys what it is like to mix it. So it's a very easy thing. There it is. Okay, so all you have to do is, it just comes in. It was a long piece. Of course, I used it. Now all you have to do is just kind of cut it, with the plastic there. It's covered in plastic, so just pinch it, just kind of go around. And cut it. So you have this, and then what you do is you kind of cut it. Just make sure you don't cut your finger. Be careful. There you go. And then there's a plastic cover, thin cover on top that you can remove. There you go. So this part came off. Just make sure there's nothing no other plastic piece on there. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna mix it up. So there, you can see there are two things, and you have to really mix it well until it's all same uniform color. You can see there are two colors right now. Just gonna keep mixing it. You don't need to mix it with water or anything. But the good thing about this is you can do it underwater or you can do it above water. So, you know, even if your pool is filled, mine is like drained out, so it's easier for me to apply above water. So I'm not doing this underwater. Now, keep in mind that this thing starts to solidify right away, you know, within 10 minutes or so. So if you leave it like this, it's just gonna harden up. So if you're using it and you don't have much time, you may want to just keep mixing it, you know, so it gives you some more time, so it doesn't just harden on you. So we're gonna go ahead and apply this, and all you do is pretty much, you know, just apply it just like that. It's hard for me to hold the camera and show you guys everything, but that's how pretty much you apply it. You know, there's nothing rocket science about this. Just applying it with your hand, sticking it, making sure it's and if you mix a little bit water, it just helps it kind of soften up a little bit, so it's easier for you to apply sometimes with the mix of water a little bit, which is completely okay to do. So you can use your pool water, you don't have to use any other special water. I do that sometimes. And that's pretty much it, you know. So we'll come back and show you how this thing holds up, and then show you the total results with the pool filled with water. Okay, so I've made the repair, and that's my son. He's filling the pool with water, playing with the pipe, and so pretty much done with the repair over there. We're gonna wait about 24 hours, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put this light back. You know, you don't want to mess around with that until it's fully cured. You know, the cure time is pretty fast, but they recommend, you know, 24 hours I think it takes for it to be fully cured. So I'll just wait, and then all you have to do is just put that light back in the niche, and you should be done. And I'll go ahead and fill up my pool. You can definitely fill it up, you know, whenever you want. So putting the light back is pretty easy. You know, all you have to do is just coil up the extra cable around the light and just stick it in, and just one screw, and then I can finally clean up my pool, because it's been a mess because my water level is down. So my vacuum is not working because you can see it's above the level. So all right, we'll be back with an update. Okay, so now you can see I filled up my pool, still filling up, and now the level is above my vacuum hose. So as you can see, my vacuum is now working, and it's been vacuuming pretty good. So I brushed it off the pool, and it's filling up. And last night, I mean, today's the second day, but last night I did leave it up till the mark where the light is, and this morning I did not see any leak. So far it's looking good. So we'll come back after a few days, and we'll give you an update on how the leak is holding up, the leak repair. All right, so here's an update on the pool. So you guys are probably looking at my pool and wondering, this pool looks a lot different than than the one I was working at. So let me share an honest opinion. It's a little bit dirty. We just had some wind and stuff. So basically the putty fix that I did, you know, so this part of the video that I'm making, it's been maybe like 3 years, so a little bit later, but I do want to give my honest update. So the putty fix that I did on that light did last me a couple of months, you know, so that putty fix is kind of like a temporary, if and only if, you know, that's the only leak you have, you might be able to fix it with the putty. It might last you like, a few months, maybe a year. It all depends. The situation is different for everybody, right? But if you find a specific leak and you fill it with putty and you do a good job at it, it will last you. But this is a temporary fix, remember guys, because once you start having one leak in a pool, and that's something I learned over the years, right? Once you start having leak, that means your plaster is going bad. So in my case, the leak kind of slowed down, but it was still there. So I knew that, hey, it might be somewhere else. That leak was fixed, but some other place it was leaking, and I looked and looked and looked, did some testing and all that stuff. They said a lot of money, but quite frankly, none of that work. They also sell a liquid that you can pour into the vacuum section, and hoping to fix it. But that's mainly if you have a leak in a pipe fixture and stuff like that. And in my case, that was not it. Most likely, if your plaster is old, it's leaking through the plaster, and sometimes it's very, very hard to find it because sometimes the plaster becomes so porous that it's just seeping water in. So and those kind of leaks, you can't, because it's a very slow leak, and it's throughout the entire plaster. So if it's such a big surface area, you're not going to see a specific place leaking or sucking water, but it's just little by little is sucking it everywhere. So the best part is, if your pool is 10 to 15 years old, you have to get the plaster done. And trust me, once you get the plaster done, your pool is going to look out amazing. So I have multiple videos on my channel. I'm going to leave a link in the description below where I did the whole plaster. I recorded the entire process, and I kind of shared tips and trick that I learned when I did my plaster. But after I did that, the leak stopped. It's been great, and I'm very happy that I spend the money to get the plaster done. It can cost you anywhere from, if you hire an independent contractor, it can cost you anywhere from $7,000 to $15,000. If you're hiring an independent contractor, I would say be very careful. You need to know what you're getting into. I would highly recommend watch my video that I made on how to fix these, how to do the plaster and the entire process, because I had to teach myself. And to get the job done right, I had to really supervise these guys, because they were taking some shortcuts. So if you know what you're getting done, you're going to have a much better result, and the longevity is going to be much better. But if you just let them do whatever they're doing, they're probably not going to do a good job. So watch out for the link in the description below. If you have temporary leak, use this putty to get it fixed, but if you have more leaks, guys, it's better just to get the plaster done. Don't try to skip that part, because you're just going to keep throwing money. Don't hire these companies to find the leaks, and because they're not going to do anything. If your plaster is old, just get the plaster done, and you'll be done with the whole thing. So again, that's it. That was my honest opinion at the end. And guys, hopefully this video helps you guys, and if you like it, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. Thank you very much.